Stay tuned to learn about what you can do using the foods you eat to make a difference to your health and performance.
So when we think about strong bones, calcium often springs to mind. So let's dig a little deeper on the role that calcium plays in supporting our bones and our body, and how we can get enough calcium from the foods and fluids that we consume. I also want to touch on some life and dietary factors that may increase calcium losses or decrease the ability to absorb calcium as well. So if you recall from our introduction, 99% of the calcium in our body stored in our bones and our teeth, with that remaining 1% present in our blood. And it's this calcium in our blood that's used for many body functions, and they're particularly important functions. So it regulates muscle contractions, so that's important for our heart, our blood pressure, and our skeletal muscles. So consuming enough calcium ensures that we've got a ready supply for these important functions without dipping into that calcium bank. So how much calcium do we need, and how do we get enough from the foods that we eat? So you can see on this chart that we require somewhere between 1,000 and 1,300 milligrams of calcium each day. And that will vary depending on age. So as you get older, the number gets higher. And if you're a female, the number is higher than if you're a male. So we do talk about dairy foods a lot when we're talking about dietary calcium. And you can actually see from the chart that if you consume 3 or 4 dairy serves, you get your 1,200 or 1,300 milligrams of calcium quite easily. If you choose not to eat dairy foods, then there's still plenty of other foods that contain calcium. And you can see from these pictures that the content will vary wildly depending on what you choose. I do want to make note of if you are using plant-based milks, and they've become very popular of late. So if you are using a plant-based milk rather than a cow's milk, please ensure that you choose one that's fortified with calcium. And I've just got an example here of almond milk, where an unfortified glass of almond milk gives you 7 milligrams of calcium, compared to one that's fortified that gives you 190 milligrams of calcium. That information is available on the packaging, and it may be on the front of the packet, but if you can't see it there, just look on the nutrition information panel of the product itself. So there are other life and diet factors that increase calcium losses or inhibit our absorption of calcium. So these include aging, and basically that comes from us dipping into that calcium bank over a long period of time. For females going through menopause, when estrogen disappears, this actually impacts the ability to grow new bone cells. So estrogen is really important for growing new bone cells, but also growing muscle as well. And we'll talk about that in a coming presentation. Diets high in alcohol, salt, and caffeine increase calcium losses. And there are some other dietary nutrients that bind and inhibit the absorption of calcium. So these are particularly oxalates and phytates, and they're present in lots of the foods that we recommend you eat. And it doesn't mean don't eat those foods. It just means consume them at different times to your calcium-rich foods. So calcium diet and bone health is actually a huge topic. So we've really just scratched the surface today. So next up is vitamin D.
Thank you for watching. I hope you got some valuable tips from this video. If you want more individualised assistance, please contact the clinic and you can make a face-to-face or a telehealth appointment.